Imagine this. Our sun and moon switching places. It's a scenario straight out of a science fiction novel. But let's take a moment to delve into the possibilities and consequences of such an extraordinary event. It sounds like a science fiction plot, but let's explore what would happen. The very fabric of our solar system would be turned upside down, leading to unimaginable changes. In this cosmic game of musical chairs, Earth's place in the solar system would be drastically altered. The gravitational forces that keep our planet in its stable orbit would be thrown into chaos. The consequences would be nothing short of astronomical, affecting everything from our days and nights to the very existence of life as we know it. Our ecosystems, weather patterns, and even the length of our days would be dramatically different. First, let's consider the sheer difference in size. The sun and the moon are vastly different in scale, and this difference would have profound effects. The sun is enormous, a giant ball of burning gas with a diameter of 865,000 miles. Its immense size and energy output are what make life on Earth possible. The moon, on the other hand, is a mere speck in comparison, measuring a little over 2,000 miles across. It lacks the energy and gravitational pull to support life in the same way. Swapping them would be like replacing a basketball with a grain of sand. The balance of our solar system would be completely disrupted. Now, imagine that tiny sun hanging in the sky. It would barely provide enough light and heat to sustain life on Earth. It's a mind-boggling thought, isn't it? The very idea challenges our understanding of the universe and our place within it. But hold on to your hats, because things are about to get even weirder. The implications of such a swap go beyond just size and light. They touch on the fundamental forces that govern our existence. With the moon in the sun's place, our days and nights would be turned upside down, literally. The very fabric of our daily existence would be altered in ways we can barely imagine. The moon doesn't emit its own light, it reflects the sun's. This means that our primary source of light and warmth would be drastically diminished. So instead of a bright, life-giving star, we'd have a dim, faintly glowing orb in the sky. The world would be bathed in a perpetual twilight, a shadowy existence. Daylight would be more like twilight, casting long, eerie shadows across the land. But that's not all. The very essence of time as we know it would be disrupted. The moon orbits Earth much faster than Earth orbits the sun. This rapid movement would have profound effects on our perception of time. This means that days would be incredibly short, perhaps only a few hours long. Imagine the sun rising and setting multiple times within what we currently consider a single day. Imagine trying to cram a day's work into that time frame. The hustle and bustle of daily life would be amplified, with everyone racing against the clock. And as for nights, well, they'd be just as short and just as frequent. The constant shift between day and night would be disorienting. It would be like living in a constant state of jet lag. Our bodies and minds would struggle to keep up with the relentless pace. The seasons too would be thrown into disarray. The natural rhythms of the earth would be disrupted. No more long summer days or cozy winter nights. The comforting predictability of the seasons would be lost. Instead, we'd experience rapid, unpredictable shifts in temperature and weather patterns. The world would be in a constant state of flux, making it difficult to adapt and thrive. The moon plays a crucial role in Earth's tides. Its gravitational pull tugs on our oceans, causing them to bulge out on the side facing the moon and the side facing away. This creates the high tides we experience twice a day. Now, imagine the sun, with its much stronger gravitational pull, taking the moon's place. The tides wouldn't just be higher, they'd be colossal. Coastlines would be redrawn as massive waves, taller than skyscrapers, crashed onto the shore. Coastal cities would be inundated, and entire islands could vanish beneath the waves. But it's not just the coastlines that would be affected. The sun's intense gravity would also wreak havoc on Earth's interior, causing volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and tsunamis on an unprecedented scale. Earth's magnetic field is our invisible shield, protecting us from harmful solar radiation. This magnetic field is generated by the movement of molten iron in Earth's core, and it's influenced by a complex interplay of factors, including the sun's magnetic field. With the sun much closer, its magnetic field would become a dominant force. This could disrupt Earth's magnetic field, weakening it or even causing it to flip. Without a strong magnetic shield, Earth would be bombarded by radiation, making it impossible for life as we know it to survive. Imagine a world bathed in constant solar radiation. It's not a pretty picture. The very air we breathe would become ionized, and electronic devices would malfunction. It would be a recipe for chaos and destruction. Section 5. Life finds a way. Or does it? Life on Earth is incredibly diverse and resilient. Over billions of years it has adapted to extreme environments, from scorching deserts to frigid polar regions. But could it survive the upheaval of a sun-moon swap? The answer is maybe. Some extremophile organisms, like those found near hydrothermal vents, might be able to withstand the intense heat and radiation. But for most life forms, including humans, the outlook would be bleak. Plants, the foundation of most food chains, would wither and die without sufficient sunlight. Animals that rely on plants for food would soon follow. The oceans too would become inhospitable as temperatures soared and acidity levels rose. It would be a mass extinction event unlike anything Earth has ever seen. Section 6. Humanity's struggle adapting to a new reality. Let's say for a moment that humans somehow managed to survive the initial chaos of the sun-moon swap. The immediate aftermath would be a time of great uncertainty and fear, as people grapple with the new reality. What would our lives be like in this strange new world? How would we adapt to the drastic changes in our environment and daily routines? The short answer is very different. Our entire way of life would have to undergo a complete transformation. Our entire way of life would have to change. We would need to develop new technologies and strategies to cope with the harsh conditions. We'd need to find ways to protect ourselves from the constant radiation and extreme temperatures. This would likely involve living in underground cities or shielded habitats. Underground cities perhaps, or shielded habitats on the few remaining habitable areas of the planet. These new living spaces would be designed to keep us safe from the elements. Food would be scarce, and water even more so. The scarcity of these essential resources would force us to innovate and find new ways to sustain ourselves. We'd have to rely on hydroponics and other innovative farming techniques to grow crops in artificial environments. These methods would become crucial for our survival, and forget about traditional energy sources like solar and wind power. The new environmental conditions would render these sources unreliable. We'd need to harness geothermal energy or develop entirely new forms of energy generation. Scientists and engineers would be at the forefront of this effort, working tirelessly to find sustainable solutions. Section 7. Agriculture in the age of the near sun. Agriculture, the backbone of human civilization, would face unprecedented challenges. With the sun so close, crops would be scorched by its intense heat and radiation. Traditional farming methods would be useless. To survive, we'd need to develop new, resilient crop varieties that could withstand the harsh conditions. Imagine genetically engineered plants that thrive in low light, high heat, and constant radiation. We might even need to explore alternative food sources, like algae or insects. Farming wouldn't be a walk in the park, it would be a constant battle against the elements. But with ingenuity and determination, humanity might just find a way to feed itself in this new world. Section 8. Transportation and communication navigating a transformed world. The sun-moon swap wouldn't just affect our food supply, it would also disrupt our transportation and communication systems. Air travel, reliant on stable weather patterns, would become incredibly risky. Sea travel would be equally treacherous, with massive tides and unpredictable currents. We might need to rely on underground tunnels or even develop new forms of transportation, like airships or magnetic levitation trains. Communication too would be a challenge. Satellites, fried by the increased radiation, would be rendered useless. We'd need to find alternative ways to stay connected, perhaps through ground-based networks or even quantum communication. Section 9. Eclipses, a new cosmic ballet. Eclipses, those celestial events that have captivated humanity for centuries, would be transformed in our sun-swapped world. Solar eclipses, where the moon passes between the sun and Earth, would become much more frequent and much less impressive. Instead of a dramatic blackout, we'd experience a slight dimming of the already faint sun. Lunar eclipses, on the other hand, would be a sight to behold. Imagine the massive sun passing behind the tiny moon, casting an immense shadow across Earth. It would be a breathtaking spectacle, a stark reminder of the cosmic forces at play. These eclipses wouldn't just be visually stunning, they would also offer scientists a unique opportunity to study the sun and its effects on Earth in unprecedented detail. Section 10. Space exploration, reaching for a closer moon. Ironically, the sun-moon swap might make space exploration a bit easier, at least in terms of reaching the moon. With our celestial neighbor now much closer, space agencies could launch missions more frequently and with less powerful rockets. However, landing on the sun would be an entirely different story. The intense heat and radiation would make it impossible for humans to set foot on its surface. We'd need to develop advanced robotic probes capable of withstanding the extreme conditions. Section 11. Science Fiction Imagining the Sun Swap Scenario. The idea of the sun and moon switching places has captured the imaginations of science fiction writers for decades. From classic novels like H.G. Wells' The Time Machine to modern films like Sunshine, writers have explored the potential consequences of such a cosmic event, often with chilling realism. These stories serve as cautionary tales, reminding us of the delicate balance that makes life on Earth possible and the importance of protecting our planet from both cosmic and man-made threats.